Good afternoon, everyone. I am Nirlipta. I am pleased to welcome you all to the ninth session of our Faculty Development Program. Let me take the privilege to introduce our speaker of this session, Professor Sarat Kumar Swain, sir. Currently working as a professor of chemistry and director IQAC at the Veet Surendra Sai University of Technology VSUT Bulla, Sambalpur since 2011. Before joining BSSUT, he had been working in the North Odisha University, now renamed as Sri Ram Chandra Bhanja Deos University, Baripada, as an associate professor of chemistry. In addition to the academic credits, Professor Swain has been in charge of various administrative positions like Dean Academic Affairs, Dean PG Study and Research, Head of the Department of Chemistry, Chairman State Committee, and First Appellate Authority of VSSUT. He was a postdoctoral fellowship in Department of Polymer Engineering, University of Akron, USA, after receiving his doctoral degree from Utkal University. Professor was also working as a visiting researcher at Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science IACS Kolkata and Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced and Scientific Research JNCASR Bangalore. He has more than 25 years of experience in teaching and research in organic chemistry, material science, nanotechnology, and polymer chemistry at UG, PG, and PhD levels. His area of research interests include hybrid nanomaterial, reinforced polymer nanocomposites, advanced material like graphene, nanoclay, CNT, CNF, CQD for improving the of gas barrier, thermal, mechanical, and chemical resistance property of the composites. He has designed various kind of nanostructure material for wastewater treatment, packaging, anti-corrosion performance, superconductor properties, sensing behavior, and biomedical applications. There are 18 scholars are successfully been awarded PhD degree along with more than 50 PG theses has been completed with supervision of Professor Swain. He has published more than 150 research papers in different SCI Index international journals of repute and edited chapters in various books and encyclopedias. So far, he has authored 7 books in reputed international publisher like three are in Springer, one from elsewhere, and one in RSC, along with invention of 2 patents out of his one from USA and another one from India. He has more than 5,000 with H index of 40 and I index of 120 as the outcome of his research. Professor Swain has received different awards such as Boy Scout Fellowship from Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and DAE Young Scientist Research Award from Department of Atomic Energy, Government of India, Saman Chandrasekhar Award, and gold medal from Odisha Vigyan Academy DST Government of Odisha for outstanding research contribution in this area of physical science. I would like to invite Dr. Swain sir to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Madam Nirlipta, for nice introduction, and also thank you, Professor D.C. Rai, for invitation of this to take this session. And first of all, I'm sorry that 5 minutes I'm become late because of this connectivity. Okay, now in the outset, good afternoon to all of you. I think it looks like you are 79, including me. That means more than 70 participants, and giving interest in the research methodology. It looks that is interesting. That means it is another encouragement for me to tell in the different way that to in the part of this research methodology. And when the complete research methodology is concerned, that organizer has given the responsibility to explain regarding intellectual property right. Actually, intellectual property right is a very vast phenomenon. Okay, in the meantime, better I can share my slide. Uh, just respond when I will tell. Okay, then let me enter screen share. Okay, my slide is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Let me do the full screen. Hope it will be visible, right? Yes. Okay, the intellectual property is concerned. It is a property that first we can tell it's invisible property. Is basically our knowledge is concerned. The property is two types. One is movable, one is immovable. But this is a different property than the movable and immovable. It is kind of intellectual property, that means property from the mind. What you are thinking and reproducing in the proper way and taking right of it by the land of law, we can tell it's intellectual property. I think the definition is not a big deal, that you can available in the Google, you can available in the different textbook also. But understanding of intellectual property is very important, because intellectual property, many people may not know that what are the kind of intellectual properties there, what are the different types of the intellectual property, and how we'll achieve the intellectual property, and exactly what intellectual property is the outcome of the research. I have not designed any outline of my presentation. Only I can tell that I will tell the what is intellectual property and what are the different type of intellectual property, and then how we'll achieve the intellectual property from our research in higher education institute. Because intellectual property is an outcome of your research. If you understand your research innovation, then you can easily understand the intellectual property. Okay. Then before this lecture, the one thing I would like to say that when you can say a property is intellectual, that I told, the property when it is invisible property, cannot see the property, it is intellectual property. And now it is 3 p.m. I think is it the session just after lunch, or any session is already conducted?
Sir, it is just after lunch.
Yes. And now you understood that the session after lunch is difficult to concentrate. That's why I'll try to make you justice by which you will be more concentrated on it. At least I hope none of you will in the sleeping mode. Okay. I'm also just have taken my lunch and I had gone to my quarter and just I am joining here. That's why I asked. It is a session just after the lunch. Okay. Just knowingly, few slides I'll show you before going to the topic. And again I say, these slides are related directly to understand the intellectual property. Just to see the slides and respond if I'll ask. Okay, and I request be active, and if you active for 2 hours, definitely you enjoy the intellectual property, many new things regarding intellectual property. I promise to show you many new things in intellectual property which you have not known to you. I'll try to it. And you can interact in between also. I shall be happy. Or at the end of my talk also, you can interact. What is comfortable, you can do it. Not a problem. Just a few slides I put it. Few slides I put. Like that I'm telling. For example, that knowingly these slides. Let me go to the next slides. Is the slide changing? Could you please respond?
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
it's a blank slide, right? Nothing is there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
None of you, I hope none of you will sleepy in this session. 2 hours. I can take more than 2 hours. 2 hour session. None of you will sleepy. That's why I'm telling. Let's wake up to understand the property, which is invisible property. We cannot see each other because all of you are not in the camera mode. But knowingly, I put my camera on. Am I visible also in the camera virtually?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Knowingly I put it because you will not, you will feel a relief if I am here. Okay. Then just I want to say that what is the property, then this intellectual property from where you will get. Okay. Then just you test your own thinking. Okay. Have you seen this picture? Is the picture
Sir.
visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Then what do you see in the picture?
Sir, face of
Face, face.
and boat.
Yes.
Then, sir, a slope like stones and
Okay. Very good thing. Very good thing. Then just you say that means when you are changing your innovation, changing your mind, changing your thinking, you are getting a new picture. And if you see the picture in a different way, you are getting different information. That is my motto. Am I right?
yes, sir.
Okay. This is the slide I have taken from the social media. How many number can you see in the image?
3 numbers, sir.
3 numbers here. That means number. What are the numbers?
684
Sure.
and
Okay.
0.
Anyone can tell any more number?
Sir, 0,
Yes.
0.
Sir,
0.
6824.
Acha. What about the 1?
So yes, sir, it is there one also there.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you. Just I
Thank you,
want
sir.
to say, thank you. Just I want to say, when you are trying to count your mind in a state of analysis, am I right? When
Yes,
you are trying to count, your mind was in a state of analysis. Okay,
yes, sir.
sometimes you told 6, sometimes you told 8, sometimes 3, then you increase your number. Slowly you have detected more and found the analysis. Okay. That's I'm telling how your analysis will give you the innovation, critical thinking. Then from the critical thinking, you can get the intellectual property. Okay, just I'll take to one more picture. Why IPR is important in higher education institute? All what is the higher education institute? All universities, colleges, autonomous body, institute of excellence are under the higher education institutes. That means that those institutes are involving after the plus 2, after the higher secondary, they are higher education institute. And hopefully out all the more than 70 participants there, and all of you have come from the higher education institute. I don't think that if any of you are coming from the industry, it's also fine, because it is most important the intellectual property for the higher education institute and from the industry. Okay, to understand this, I will just make some puzzles of that. You see, why IPR is necessary? I'm telling why IPR is necessary for higher education institute. Could you respond any one of you from the industry? No. That means most of you are from the higher education institute. Just I'm considering most of you are from the higher education institutes, either in college or universities. Why? Why IPR is important? Then we will have the interest for the IPR. Then only go for detail regarding IPR. Okay. First is widen your knowledge. If you have intellectual property, you have the privilege to widen your domain knowledge. Next is promotion and respectability. These two things, promotion and respectable two things. Why you are doing the IPR? IPR because of your promotion. Then you can tell, suppose me, I am already a professor last 15 years. Then what about the promotion? I don't have any promotion, but I am doing the IPR because of the respectability, right? What about this qualification? Sometimes you are doing PhD, postdoc, etc. for in the acquiring the intellectual property right in higher education because of the qualification. Similarly, global recognition. I told you, all of you are teacher from the different institute. Basically, maybe dean, maybe director, maybe principal, whatever may be head of the department. But basically, you are all of the teacher. I'm telling you, if you are a good teacher, then you may get the recognition from in your own institute. But if you are a good researcher or generating the IPR, you will have the global recognition. Am I clear? See, another is self-satisfaction, I can tell. Suppose you don't want to widen your knowledge, you don't need promotion, respectability, you don't care, you already have a qualification PhD postdoc, you have your own recognition, even you don't need, but you are getting the self-satisfaction. And last one is desire to solve problem. If you are interested to solve problem, if you are making a patent, some patent is example of the intellectual property, then you can, using that patent, you can solve certain problem in the society. Okay. Then I am taking the next slide. IPR from the research. IPR from the research, IPR without doing also research, I admit. Mostly if you see the intellectual property right, you will get from the research only. Okay. IPR from the research, I am telling because I have many examples. People have done the patent without doing, even had gone to the college. I have many examples. I used to give this example to the student because I am teaching research methodology several years and years in BSSUT. That's why from it I have given the example. Like suppose I am telling people are making terracotta, they are also making the patent. People are having fine art, they are also making the patent. No need to do the research. Still, as all of you are from the higher education institute, then I feel the IPR is expected the outcome of the research. Why? What you need if you want to get the IPR from the research? First is your ethics. Ethics, why I started from the ethics? Because intellectual property right is a property of the knowledge, property of the own mind. That means invisible property. That is why you cannot show this property, you cannot show visible in physically, you cannot show this property. That is why you should have good ethics. That is very important. I believe if you have good ethics, then you can be good researcher. Next is teamwork. I am telling. Alone you cannot do everything. If you are so excellent, so brilliant, I don't mind for that. But teamwork, I believe. Teamwork means different. Teamwork, I mean teamwork with your colleagues, or you can make your own team. Suppose you have 6, 7, 8 research scholars, then among these, along with the research scholars, you can make your own team. But I believe the research can be done in teamwork because you go through the Nobel Prize. Even single person is not getting, multiple person getting Nobel Prize of a different geographical in the globes. That is why teamwork is important. Another third one is vitamin M, which is very important, funding. Because you have a teamwork, you have good ethics, because without funding you cannot proceed. Where you will get funding? Funding you can ask from the institution. If you are not getting, don't care, you can ask different agencies in the government of India, government of Odisha, that you can get the funding. Because without the, from the research only I got as a person, you are all of you from the higher education institute, all if you are a teacher, that is why I am telling, we need funding for the research. This is very important, collaboration. You do not know everything. You are master in certain field. Okay. Suppose Professor D.C. Rai is a man of computer science. He do not have the idea regarding the chemistry. Suppose you want to graph theory or something like that, he has to take my help. That's a collaboration gives a better intellectual property right, what is from the research. Fifth one is very important. What is this? Motivation. If you have ethics, you have a big team, you have a funding, you have a collaboration. If I will give 1 crore, do you think that you can generate the IPR from the research? No, because you should have the proper motivation. If you don't have the motivation, nobody can pull you or push you to the research. Okay, I believe it. Okay, what is the research? What is research? Re is again, search is finding, process is step by step. Doing something step by step is process. That means something finding in the step by step, we can have the research. With this, I can tell it is an alternative process that eventually is set to explain or solve and identify the problems. If you identify the problem, then you will try to solve it. Once you will solve it, you will be very competent to have create your own property. Okay, if you create your own property, then you can have and keep the property in the legal point of view, then you can tell it's a intellectual property because property come your mind. Why IPR? I'm telling already told why IPR. IPR is a explore. If you want to do something, explore, then you can tell the intellectual property. Or you want to describe something, something explore, something describe, and I can tell finally it is explain. Something you want to explain, then that will be IPR. Explore. Something explore, new things you want to do explore. Okay? In a research cyclic, I believe these things that is build something and measure something and learn something. Okay, that's I'm telling. All we are teacher, including me, we believe in the build it, measure it, and learn it. Okay. For this, what you want to see? Features of a good IPR. When you can tell it's a intellectual property good, anything you can do that is intellectual property. What is recognizable? It is a systematically ethical data collection. Systematically, I'm telling two things: systematically and ethically data collection. Another is critical analysis for the collecting data. If you are collecting data, I have shown some picture before, few minutes back I have shown some picture, but critically you have not analyzed. That is why quickly you told. Okay, I can share some of the picture to make it more interesting. Analysis based on logical reasoning. Similarly, create new research opportunities in your IPR. Otherwise, always should not be in commercial. Okay. Then the derivation of knowledge from your observation. What you are observing a particular system, then from your observation you can have the knowledge deliberation. Okay. And finally, is higher level of accuracy. You should be very ordinarily, you should not tell that okay, this is happened, then I can tell. Repeatedly you should see the system that how it will be very clear and high level of accuracy in the IPR. Okay. Then you see I made it red. That means critical analysis is very important for making of any IPR. Okay. What is critical analysis? If I tell critical analysis is required for the IPR. What is critical analysis? You see, analysis, I told, if we more, just before one picture I am showing, if you
ଆଉ କାହିଁ
more
ଆଜି ପକେଇବା
analyze,
କାଲି ପକେଇବା ଏଟା କଣ ହେଲା ଛୋଟ ହେଇଗଲା କଣ ଛୋଟ ହେଇଗଲା
okay, please mute it, please mute it, please mute it. Okay, this critical analysis, how we do the critical analysis, this critical analysis can be obtained by simply why the critical analysis is necessary. Okay,
ସରଳ ହେଇକି ତ ଲୋକ ମାରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ
I'm showing some picture, you see,
ହାତୀ ଘୋଡା
how you
ଦେଖେଇଲେଣି
will do the critical analysis. So could you please mute it
ହଁ
that
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
which is not relevant to our topic? Okay. How many animals do you see in the picture?
ବନ୍ଦ କରିଦବ ମୋର କଣ ଭୁଲ ଦେଖିବ ମୁଁ ପୁରା ଭଲ ଭଲ
Anyone can respond that how many animals do you see?
କଣ ତୁ ଶୁଣିପାରିବୁ ହଁ ଯୋଉଠି ଆସିକି ମୋ ପାଖରେ ଶୁଣୁନା କଣ ଶୁଣିଦବ ମୁଁ ଦେଖିବି ପଛରେ ଥାଇକି କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା କରୁଛୁ କାହିଁକି ପୁରା କାଟିକି
All the participants, please mute their
ମୋର କିଛି
phone.
କହିବା ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ ସେ ରଖିଚଲଟା
All the participants, please mute their phone. It's a sincere request. Please, all the participants, mute their phone.
6 animals.
Okay, I think now it's okay. Okay. How many animals do you see from the picture?
6.
6. Correct. If you see it properly, analysis, that means you are critically, you have analyzed the picture and told 6. How many legs do this elephant have? It looks like 5, okay? But you will not say 5 because other participant will laugh because the elephant should not have the 5 legs. That's what I'm telling. Because if you will critically analyze, then why it is happened like this? That means in a particular picture, his leg is confused with the trunk. Okay. I'm not asking you, testing your knowledge. Just to explain the critical analysis, I'm showing this picture. Which calf will feel fast? Please respond. Which calf will feel fast? Critically, think critically and analyze critically.
Sir, 5.
5. Okay, very good. Any other answer?
Five, sir.
Sir, 5.
Okay, all are taking the 5. 5. You see, there is a blockage at the 5. You are not critically analyzing. There is a blockage. That means the 5th cup is not going to fill up because of this blockage. Understood? That means before answering, we should think critically. Okay. Any other answer?
Sir, 1.
1.
Then it is 6, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
1.
6.
6.
Sir, 6.
Okay.
Sir,
1,
6.
6. Okay. Fine. Just I would like to say all the where if you see very critically 1 there is a blockage. Okay. If you go to 6 at the end there is a blockage. That means none of the cup is going to fill up if we will put the tea from the jug. My point is that I am not testing your knowledge. Just I want to say anything many times what you think properly, it is not a critical analysis. If you do the critical analysis, you will have the highest level of accuracy. Okay, just you would like to tell if you will have the highest level of, if you want to highest level of accuracy, then you will have the good critical thinking. You have to do the critical thinking for the highest level of accuracy. Okay. Due to the woman's face, or the man on a horse flying on the dragons, or the both, is your thinking changing? If you see different way, if you look, your thinking will be changed. Am I correct? Its thinking is changing with changing the, if you see the different way the picture. Okay. I'm going to show another picture for your good understanding. We'll have the superpower within us. Okay. But all we are same and all the knowledge we are same, because suppose you are 70 participants, all the 70 participants have equal density of only thing that understanding may be different. Okay, I'm telling you, just one last picture I'll show you. It's our brain, okay, and want to test it. You just test your brain. What your understanding? What you are observed from the picture? Anyone? The train is going in the forward direction or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Just close your eye and see it again to the picture. What you observe? Train is going in the backward direction. Okay? Clear? That means you can change the direction of the train with the change of your thinking. Just you think about it. You will see when you are synthesizing your mind, it is changing, your idea is changing, your thinking is changing. That critical thinking is important for understanding the IPR. Okay? That's why I am synthesizing, means your brain, your mind is synthesizing to making it better intellectual property right. Okay? Now all are ready. I am going to the topic. You will see that where you will get the idea of the innovation. Okay? What is this? Once you have critical analysis, then you have an innovation. Okay? If you have critical analysis, you have innovation. If innovation comes from where? Idea. If you have good idea, you can have a very good innovation. Okay? Then innovation, and if you have idea and innovation, which will lead to the discovery of something. Discovery means something new. This will come from your critical thinking. Properly thinking will give this idea. Okay? Which creates theory. Okay? Then if you think detail regarding this innovation, okay, it is research analysis and innovation. Okay, what is this innovation? You will see it is a Thomas Edison that is do want to better. If you see the picture, how can you think the intellectual property in your way? You see the picture, all are in umbrella, and someone is making inverted one umbrella, and man is standing on it. Just imagination, I'm telling. This is actually innovation. Okay, the term innovation refer to new way of doing something. It may refer to your incremental or emergent or radical and revolutionary change in the thinking product process. The idea definitely will get failure, but you should in the failure also we should not be irritated. Okay, failure sometimes create the irritation, but we should not have. We should constant thinking of. Definitely, you will get the innovation. Okay, I'm telling you the idea always. You have a good idea that always you think that your idea will not create any failure. Success many times you have success, but much more times also you have a failure. Okay, that failure should not give any irritation out of it. This idea gives a particular innovation. Okay, I'm telling this picture I have taken from Google image. Okay, what is the invention you see? These are the different wheels, and out of these wheels the innovation of making a bicycle. Okay, what is this? Then types of innovation, if you will tell, it's a product innovation, sometimes innovation in the process, that means same kind of product with innovation in the process, and sometimes in the innovation in the service. That means either product is innovation, process innovation, or application based innovation. Okay, and what are the types of the intellectual property you will bring from the innovation? Actually, the property you can get from your own innovation. I told from the starting, it is the property of your own mind, and it will be generated from your thinking only. Okay, what are the different types of intellectual property? How many types? If I tell, one is copyright, another one is patent. All these things you will get from your innovation. Geographical indication, trademark, trade secret, industrial designing. Okay, all these things you can tell it is copyright. Remember, I will highlight these 6 kind of intellectual property. Maybe intellectual property carries more than 6 also. Sometimes it is integral circuit, some mathematical formula. It may be different intellectual property, but basically intellectual property, these 6-7 types. Okay, see, this is a very good slide. I like this slide. What is the intellectual property? Intellectual property refers to creation of mind such as invention, literacy, and artistic work. Understood? Designing different symbol, image, idea for the commercialization. Then if this is a tree I made it, this is suppose intellectual property. It is one a big tree of intellectual property. It is patent, it is designing, it is freedom, and all these artistic kind of things, copyright. These all are the intellectual property. How many types of intellectual property I told? 6 types. Okay. Then I will discuss one by one. What is the IPR? If I tell, IPR is the right which gives monopoly of any intellectual creation of a mind. Okay, it is a combination of science and technology or both. Okay, it is. You don't think that IPR always a science, IPR always a technology, IPR always a engineering. Is not like that. It is a combination of science and technology. Better I can say. Okay. Another definition that we can tell, it gives a new creation, such as composition of music. Earlier, the composition of music was not an intellectual property. Nowadays, composition of music also intellectual property. It has came from 2012. 2012, that means last 12 years, 12, 13 years it came that music become a intellectual property. Writing a book is an intellectual property. New invention. Okay, it is not for any mathematical formula. We cannot tell putting some mathematical formula, it is my intellectual property. It's not like intellectual property. Mathematical formula is not intellectual property. Very mathematics professor may be here, but The mathematical formula, why it is not intellectual property? Because it derived from certain formula. Okay. Then if you'll see what are the different types, already I told 6 types. In detail, if you tell, it is 8 types. What is this? Patent, trademark, geographical indication, copyright, neighboring right, integrated circuits, industrial designing, and trade secret. All these. Okay. What is the intellectual property? If you take all in a certain basket, then the full basket is known as intellectual property right. Okay. And many of you know few of the terms like patents. You heard patents, but what is that? You heard a trademark, geographical indication, copyright, neighboring rights. All these are different intellectual property right. Okay. What is the intellectual property? You see the different kind of intellectual properties are there. Okay. These are the different intellectual property right. The intellectual property right may be of copyright, patent, trademark, trade secret, all sort of things. Then we can start the discussing the copyright, the intellectual property from the copyright. And all of you are acquainted with this copyright. What is this copyright? Okay. I think see there is a arthiret kind of things. You can see all of you are acquainted this. If you will see the book, there is this symbol is there. If you will see anything is copyright, you can see this symbol. What is copyright? What is copyright? A copyright gives the creator of original work exclusively right to it, usually limited times. I am telling what is the copyright. Suppose publishing paper is a copyright. Publishing a book is a copyright. Okay. Even composing a music is a copyright. I told that this copyright came after before just 10-15 years. Okay. But the copyright doesn't cover the idea and the information, the manner it is expressed. Okay. Then you see what are the different type of copyright. See, copyright, writing a research article. All of you know, without giving the copyright, your paper is not going to publish. Book chapter is a copyright. Book is a copyright. Even PhD thesis is a copyright, because PhD thesis of the suppose in certain university, let it be suppose BPUT, it cannot be submitted in BSSUT. That means different copyright. PhD thesis is a copyright. Any report is a copyright. Presentation is a copyright. Even what I am presenting, it is my copyright. If you want to get this presentation, you should take my permission. Okay, that is because it is under my copyright. It's a music and video, these are also copyright. But this copyright is obtained, I told, just before 10-12 years back. Because the intellectual property first it came to know in 1970. Okay, it's 1970, that means more than 50 years back the intellectual property is there. Before that, there is no the property like intellectual property is there. Proper forum, intellectual property is not there. Okay, these are the intellectual properties. But copyright protect now this literacy, dramatic, musical, artistic, architecture. These are the copyright protect. Okay, if you see it, what is the copyright extension? Already I think any one of you understood this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This 8 types of copyright. Could you please understand this all the 8 types of copyright? Okay, I am telling these first 6 are already known copyright, because when you are publishing paper, you are giving a copyright. When you are publishing a chapter, even you are copyright. Any report is copyright, because if you have to copy, you have to take the permission. I told presentation also copyright. Okay, this is my presentation, it's a copyright. But last to see music and video, how they are copyright, is an extension of the copyright. Extension of music video is extension of a copyright. What is this? When the IT revolution came, the broadcasting or recording, audiovisual work, computer programs, digital database, cable, satellite, TV, these are also included in the copyright. When it is included in India Copyright Amendment Bill passed in Rajya Sabha in 17th May 2012 and by the Lok Sabha in 22nd May 2012. I told you 2012 means how many years back? It is only 12 to 13 years back, this copyright extension came with respect to video and the audio. Okay, this copyright extension comes in the video and audio, mostly the broadcasting and the cable, television, satellites, all these things it came. How it is copyright came, I can give an example. Many of you know because all of you, most of you, I think from the Western Odisha, that's a very popular picture I will show you. Okay, what is written there? Copyright of, what is this? Any of you, all of you know this? Anyone from the state of Odisha may not know this song. Okay, see how this copyright can be possible. I'm telling what is the basic detail of a candidate, soft copies and CD, and often trademark certificate from the work and power of attorney. It is very important for the making a copyright. I'll show some picture. Who can recognize this three person in the picture? Any one of you can tell? I have just taken it from the image, Google image. Who is this fellow? Who can tell? Anyone, any participant can tell that who is this fellow? Do not know? Okay. This is these three fellows got Padma Shri because of one song, one Rangavati song. That is, three fellows got the Padma Shri. Okay. I can show you one more picture. See, these people they are singing particular song. Okay, particular song is Western Odisha, very famous song. I can tell it is world famous. It is Rangavati song is there. Okay, any one of can, if you are not seen, you can see in the Google also. Today in YouTube you can see this by the Rangavati song by Sona Mahapatra and Rituraj Mahanti. They wrongly sang this song in the different way what the proper original song was made by the Nitendra Haripal. For that the case was made in Odisha High Court. And finally it is resolved. My point is that, and how it is possible? It is possible because of 2012 copyright revision rule. Copyright 2012 copyright rules came because of this intellectual property. Okay, what is the copyright idea? That to avoid the production and always knowledge and obtaining the prior permission. Suppose certain article I published, and if you want to reproduce an image, you have to take the permission from the publisher. If I have published my own, you can take permission from the me. Okay, the integrated circuit, layout designing of integrated circuit are field in protection of the intellectual property. In United States, actually in India, sometimes the country-wise the intellectual property law is different. That is a different laws for the integrated circuit. Okay. Then come to another type of the that IPR is patent. What is patent? Did you understand the IPR? Sorry, the copyright. After that, I am telling you to taking another type of is patent. Okay. What is patent? Patent is a protection given to patentee for invention, the limited term of the government discussing the invention. It is simply, I can tell, it's the right of using your own discovery in the land of law. Okay. I am not going to detail regarding the patent, because detail regarding patent, again it takes 2 to 3 hours talk. Because I used to give patent in the topic of the patent only, I used to give 2-3 hours talk. That's why I am not going to the detail. Still, I will show you 10-15 minutes in the patent that how you can do a patent, what is patent, and how can you file a patent, and detailed discussion I told 2 to 3 hours. But still, I will try to explain the patent and patentability in the period of 10 to 15 minutes. What is a patent? You can tell it's conditional grant. Okay. Why? Because balance of right and obligation. Okay. Subject to other the law of land, the owner's invention and assign. Okay. This is world patent research. Often the what is patent. Okay, what is statutory pillar of the patent? I told patent mostly the product patent, process patent, and application based patent. If the product is new, application is new, or process is new, any one of the new is a good intellectual property. Eligibility criteria for filing a patent, we can tell it's total. If I tell regarding detail regarding patent, I told this to minimum 2 hours is required. But still, I will give some brief idea regarding the patent because I have to cover other intellectual property. I already told patent is a small part of the intellectual property. Small part of the intellectual property. Okay. Then what is this? Then how will we do the patent out of it? Okay. Then we can tell patent. What is the patent? It is non-obvious things. It is patent. Okay. And we can tell the industrial applicability and novelty. Then you see what is the patentability. These things you can do patent, which you cannot do the patent. Just few slides I will show. Then I will take, because patent law is different. Different sections of the patents are there. I can explain, but I want to cover all the intellectual property in a briefly, or in the detail of individual intellectual property takes long time. Okay, that's why we'll just highlight different intellectual property. Okay, with respect to time, if I have a time, I can explain more regarding detail regarding the individual intellectual property like patent. But I can tell what is patentability, what is not patentability. Try to understand. Very interesting it is. It must be new, which can be patentable, novel, and must be new. Okay, must distinguish from the state of art. Okay, must have inventive steps, must have application. I told already, if product is new, or process is new, or application is new. And if you tell the industrial application, it must have the useful and having good utility. Okay, it must not cover section 3 and section 4 of the patent law. Patent law is there. I will show you some of the section. I cannot cover all the section of the patent law because I told you say long journey for making the patent, how to patent, how do the application. That is another story. Okay, still I can show the some idea regarding the patents. It will be very useful to you. Okay, few sections I will consider it. The inventive steps are there. Inventive step means the feature of an invention involves technical advances. Okay, and comparing economic significance and both, you can tell, but it is non-obvious. What do you mean by non-obvious? Obvious means what's supposed to be done. Non-obvious is not supposed to be done, but it is done. Then you can tell, but person skill, you have done it in a non-obvious way. Then you can tell, go for the patent. Okay. I'm not going to detail regarding this with the last slide. If we see the last slide, then it is one section of inventive section is there. But I'm not going to detail regarding section 2, section 3, section 4, different sections of the patents are there. I don't have any time to explain detail, but I can tell what is possible to have patent. Patent Act 1970 came. I am telling again, the patent is the part of intellectual property like copyright, what we have discussed. What is not patentable? We should have a common idea that what things can be patentable, not patentable. Many times, many faculty and student used to ask me, sir, I have done like this, whether I can able to do the patent or not. It's a big question. Okay, it's a big question. We should understand. It's a very good idea. What are the things is not patentable? Frivolous, contrary to national law, is not patentable. Something will do the patent by which big violence will be there. It's not possible. Public order morality, any prejudice to human, animal, or plant, or any affecting the environment, and the discovery of the scientific principle. Mere discovery, small discovery of scientific principle is not. Mere means small discovery in scientific principle. Things and non-living, living and non-living substances is possible. I'm sorry, the last slide. More discovery of a new form. Okay, it is also not possible. What is not patentable? Mere admixture or synergy is not patentable. Argument is not patentable. Arrangement is not patentable. Agriculture, we are very good agriculture doing is not patentable. Horticulture is not patentable. Method of treatment, if you are a doctor, you have very good style of treatment or diagnosis, but you cannot do it patent. Understood? Plants, animals, you cannot do the patent. Biological process, you cannot do the patent. Okay? Mathematical business method is not patentable. Literary, dramatic, musical, artistic is not patentable. Then what is this? This is copyright. It's not patentable. Rules is not patentable. Integrated circuit is not patentable. Integrated, if you are a computer engineer, integrated circuit is not patentable. Okay? I'm not going detail regarding the patent, but only thing the idea that what can be patentable, what is not patentable. Besides this, all are patentable, you can do it. Then come to third intellectual property. Third important intellectual property is a trademark. All of you have seen this symbol. R is rounded one. This is trademark. Trademark is a recognizable sign, design, or expression which identifies the product. Okay? The trademark owner can be an individual or business organization. If you tell the trademark, it is business or organization, you can tell. A trademark is located on the package. If you have seen any package, there is R is there. Okay. What is this trademark? Trademark is also intellectual property. Understood? It is also kind of intellectual property. I'll show you detail regarding this. What is trademark? If I put this Reliance Lives, this is style of trademark is there. This is, if you write the Tata, it is written in a different way. No one can write the Tata in this way. That means it is a they made the trademark. ISI is different. You cannot write by your own style. ISI. This is trademark because they made it trademark is there. Okay. BIS certificate. FSSI. Okay. FSSI certificate is a trademark because in the certificate only it is written. Even in many of the food items it is written FSSI. It is also trademark. Okay. Then AG mark certificate also is a trademark. Then what is a trademark? Trademark is a word mark. Something will be written, that is a word mark, or it is a device mark like a symbol, a logo. It is a device mark. Okay, and a collective mark. It is one of the collective mark, and a certification mark. Collective and certification mark, or it is a service mark. We cannot do it. It is a service mark. Okay. When you can tell it's a trademark, very interestingly, if you understand that when you can tell it's a trademark, it must be graphically represented. So when you can tell it must be graphically represented. Some graph is there, like trademark of the VSSUT, different. Trademark of your college, there is a logo is there, that is a trademark of your college. Trademark of BPUT, that is a logo is there, that is a trademark of the BPUT. It is a form of a grapheme, graphically or pictorial form. And it should be distinctive and distinguishable. What do you mean by this? Distinct and distinguishable. That means distinguish means the logo of a VSSUT should be different from the logo of a Sambalpur University. Logo of a BPUT is different from the logo of the NIT. Okay, that's a logo. It should be distinguished and distinguishable. What is this? Trademark. Must be descriptive. Should explain something. Not that some picture is there. That's some meaning. Every logo has its own meaning. Okay, why the logo of the VSS should like this? There is a meaning out of it. That's all. Any trademark having given meaning, and must not descriptive, similar to generating, well-known, generic things should not be there. Okay, but normal things is to be avoided in the trademark. Geographical indication should not be in the trademark. Deities, national leaders should not be in the trademark. Okay, heroes should not be in the trademark. They can have their own trademark. I don't mind for that. But normally you can avoid some symbol It should not be in the trademark. What is this? Thumbs up. All of you know. In this picture, then you understood it is thumbs up. What is this? It's a trademark, right? This is a picture, trademark. What is this? Apple. Okay. What is this? Coca-Cola. McDonald. McDonald. What is this? Yahoo. Okay. What is a trademark actually? You see, trademark of different types. What is? Maybe trademark with respect to shape, trademark with respect to name, trademark with respect to symbol or slogan. Suppose I am loving it. This is a McDonald. It's written slogan, I am loving it. This slogan is there. Sometimes color is there. Orange. It's a different color. If I suppose red color, you can tell it's Airtel. Airtel is always red color. Some color indicates. Okay. Some color indicates that the trademark. Okay. Some picture is blue color. It's Volkswagen. Volkswagen is a car. Okay. See, what is this? Now you understood what is trademark? Okay. More about this trademark. See, it is written Coca-Cola. It's a name, logo type, symbol, slogan, shape, color, or it's understood in the slogan. That trademark. What is this? This is a simple right mark. Who can say this is the trademark of this? Which trademark it indicates? Which trademark is it?
Nike.
Nike. Very good. Trademark of Nike. That means if there is a tick mark, you understood. Because they are not changing the trademark from the long time. Okay. That's a trademark also intellectual property. Okay. You cannot change it. This is we are discussing third indicator. Why registration is trademark is important. I am telling. Why registration of trademark is important. That's what I am telling. It's not coming from the research. You can do that exclusively legal right. You cannot change it. Exclusively legal right. Okay. That you can remedy in the court. That is possible. Sound name the market because this market that I told is what is this? Is Nike. You told it's correct. That means it is have a sound name in the market. Create a face value is very important. Create a face value for that. Okay. And the last legal recognition. You cannot change the logo and sell it in the market. Okay. And another last is important. Monopoly in business. That means using the trademark, they can do the monopoly in the business. Okay. Then come to trade secret. Trade secret, sometimes it is confused with the patent. People used to confuse trade secret with the patent. Interesting. You can see it. You can tell trade secret. Many times students used to ask me, sir, trade secret, can it be patent? Patent, can it be trade secret? What is the difference and what is the similarities? Trademark, trade secret is there. How can you get a detail? I will discuss the trade secret. What is trade secret? Means top secret. A trade secret is a formula or practice, process designing which is not generally known by which a business can be obtained. An economic advantage. Okay. For example, KFC, Pizza Hut, Domino's. These are the different trade secret. They can use it. Okay. The Pizza Hut, suppose KFC, those are very fond of chicken. They can have the KFC chicken. KFC chicken in Sambalpur and Bhubaneswar, the taste should be same because they have the same trade secret inside it. Okay. What is this? What makes a something trade secret? When you can tell it trade secret? You cannot know why it is trade secret and when the thing becomes the trade secret. When do you have legal protection? When do you have a legal protection, then you can trade secret. This is also the kind of intellectual property. After what you have discussed intellectual property, copyright, patent, trademark, and the fourth one we are discussing trade secret. Okay, trade secret. If you have a legal protection, you can tell trade secret. What are trade secret? See, what are trade secret? What exactly trade secret you mean? Okay, could you please mute your phone? It is fine if you will mute your phone, because unless if you tell to interact, you can interact. Otherwise, mute it. It is easy to understand by the others. Okay, it is happen. Normally, it is happen. Doesn't matter. It's normally it is happen in the online class, but still you should take care having the maximum discipline. Okay. What is the trade secret means? That this is kind of very interesting. That intellectual property, trade secret are the confidential information that has commercial value by virtue of keeping it secret, by which with reasonable step to be taken to keep it secret. To keep it secret. It is very important that to keep it secret. That trade secret means. Trade secret, normally it is franchise. I'll give these pictures. You can, all of you have acquainted with these pictures. Okay, this McDonald, Subway, Burger, KFC. These are the different franchise you can take. The trade secret is there to take a franchise. Okay, the intellectual right with that trademarks and a designing, patents, copyright, and trade secret. A different trade secret is different. Why and when you can do the trade secret is there. It having certain formula, certain composition, top secret way that we can do. Okay. For example, see the more example is a trade secret. I am telling intellectual property right has an inherent franchise. Without intellectual property, there can be no franchise. There is intellectual property. They registered it. If you do, you can go to jail even. If you use their trade secret. Many examples I have. The people have leaked their trade secret and had gone to court. Okay. It looks that many of the participants, they have not viewed their site. What happened to this? Otherwise, there is a lot of interactions there. They can make see.
All the participants, please mute your phone. All the participants, please mute your phone. I am repeatedly asking you all, please mute the phone.
Yes, thank you. Because if you will mute it, you can learn, because other people, you can interact with other people. If it is related to the subject of teaching, it's fine. Otherwise, what happens? It creates a lot of noise. This is happen in the online class, but no problem. We can minimize it, because nowadays after Corona, the COVID-19, we are very smart of managing the online courses. Online courses so nicely you can manage it. It doesn't matter. It looks like a physical phenomenon. But only thing that both sides have the proper interest of it. Okay, it's not a problem. I can now, it's a big solution for that. You see, all of you are different geographical position, and we are interacting with each other. It is good. Only thing that unnecessary noise you cannot do it, but you can interact freely. You can interact with me and also interact with. Better don't interact with each other. It is one-to-one, one-to-many function is there. If any one of you interact me, it's fine. Okay. I think all of you have seen the Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, very popular. KFC. The secret, I'm telling the story. I'm telling a story of it. Secret recipe is that 11 herbs and species. They are putting, the KFC people, they are adding 11 herbs and spices. 11 spices, I don't know. Don't tell me the list of the spices. I don't know also. They are putting 11 spices. Lies in a bank vault. Bank vault. That means it is in the in intellectual property right, they have registered, and few people know it, and they contractually obligated to secrecy. They cannot, suppose you have taken the franchise, you may know this, but in a contract that you have to take the secrecy of 11 spices. Okay. Nowadays, KFC giving his own price, is not giving spices for the addition in the chicken. In the integrate, if we two different companies, two different locations, suppose they use these 11 spices or some of the spices they use to trying to make the taste like the KFC, definitely they will go to the jail. Okay, that's why the mixture that no one outside the KFC has complete recipe. KFC people know it, but all they have the ethics. They know they will not disclose it. Till now, several years has gone, but still it is not disclosed. And if anyone disclose, definitely there is a court of law, it will go to the jail. Okay. See, another story. These are the case study I collected. This is a case study of 2006. What in the case is happened in the Coca-Cola trade secret trial. The Coca-Cola, they have the secrecy loop confidential document from the beverage GN, and it produces and a different recipe of the Pepsi that has been launched with aim to selling them to rival Pepsi. In certain area, the Coca-Cola become the rival of the Pepsi. Then they made a big secret of the trade secret mark, intellectual property level, they put it. But one of the employee had shifted to Coca-Cola to Pepsi and didn't maintain the privacy of the recipe of the beverage. Then it faced 10 years in prison if convicted by the conspiracy. That means the punishment is very high level punishment. Many people got the punishment out of it. That's why I'm telling intellectual property, it is a property you cannot visible it. It's a individual property, invisible property, is property of certain mind. It click certain property, some idea. Initially, that's why I have shown what is idea, what is innovation, and how it is come from your own critical thinking. A lot of pictures I have shown you to understand the critical thinkings out of it. That is why you are creating it. But to preserve this, the lot of things we have to do. Otherwise, it creates big problem which can create a distinguishing punishment, is exemplary punishment for this. Okay. Same way, suppose you are doing a research. Okay. You are doing research. Then suddenly in the research, if you do it, okay, do it. For example, if you do the in certain, if you are suppose you are one of my few figures of my paper you have taken and publish it. Your paper will be redacted, you may be blacklisted, and there is a punishment if I will go for the court. That's I'm telling, it is a property, it's a dangerous property, that it's a preservative property. When you are dealing this property, you are acquainted with this, you must know the intellectual property. Because without knowing the intellectual property, you may face the problem subject to that in prison, subject to the jail even. Okay. Trademark may be designated in the following symbol. I am telling the trademark, trade secret, don't confuse. It is TM and it is SL. Okay. Like that. And I can take you to another intellectual property. What are the other intellectual property? I tell one by one. One is copyright. Already we discussed. Another one is patent. Okay. Another one is trademark. Another one is trade secret. Okay. Then we can take to geographical indication. Many of you are acquainted with this term. All of you know regarding GI tag. GI tag. What is the full form? Geographical indication. Geographical indication also it intellectual property. It is registered in the Intellectual Property Act. I told there is a Intellectual Property Act is there. You should understand. All of you are researcher, and many of you have done a lot of research. But in particular, your intellectual property should be safe and should be in the proper place by which you can do it. Okay, what is this geographical indication of this? Geographical indication, this what is the geographical indication? We are acquainted the geographical indication of different people. We will discuss detail. But what is geographical indication? First we should learn. Geographical indication is a appellation of origin or sign used in good in specific geographical origin. For example, in particular area is famous for certain things. They want that particular product should be defined to particular geographical indication. Okay, that is why what they will do, they will have registered under the geographical indication. It is obtained at the Chennai. There is a office, intellectual property right office. There all India people are doing the registration. If you want to do the geographical indicator for that. Okay, very good example is Banarasi sari. Suppose if you go to Banaras, they are weaving the saris there. Okay, like Sambalpur sari. I belong to Sambalpur. That it is Sambalpur sari. That is also a geographical indication with respect to in a particular place. It is a particular origin, the goods of the particular origin. Okay. Then, what is geographical indicators? Okay, I told this is the idea regarding the one example of Sambalpur sari. Okay, what is the GI? GI, your geographical indication is famous for the GI. Even though when you can tell it's a GI or geographical indication, GI is a name or sign normally used on certain product which correspond to specific geographical location or origin or town, country, place, district. Sometimes small village also very famous for the geographical indication. Some particular area, maybe small block, small panchayat, may be geographically very highlighted for this. Few examples I am giving, and recently many geographical indications, GI tags as different goods, different products, that GI tags will be there. For example, the basmati rice, Sambalpuri sari. All of you know the Sambalpuri sari is very famous, having the GI tag. Hyderabad biryani. Hyderabad biryani, don't think that biryani is coming from the Hyderabad. Hyderabad biryani, they made the geographical indication. When you are buying Hyderabad biryani at the Raulkela, buying the Hyderabad biryani at the Sambalpur, Cuttack, Bhubaneswar, they have to get the GI tag. They cannot buy it. The biryani is Raulkela biryani because they made the GI tag of their own. Okay, they have to do it. More about this. Now you should think that why GI protected? Why a thing is intellectual property? Suppose you are doing research. In a research, suppose something good thing you discovered. Then out of that, you would think that I don't want this, somebody should try in my research, should encouragement in my research. Then you have to do a GI tag. Okay. Then GI tag, how and why it is protected? That is important. How it is protected, that story I will tell you, that how the GI tag is protected. Because I told the intellectual property, detail of intellectual property, individual intellectual property is 1 hour, 2 hour lecture. But in one lecture, to combine all the intellectual property, 6-7 types intellectual property is difficult. Still, we can include many of the that intellectual property in one basket. But to gaining knowledge and explanation of individual intellectual property, it takes long time. Anyway, if the opportunity comes, sometimes we can meet and we can discuss regarding individual intellectual property. Okay, the GI tag, why GI tag is protected? It denotes quality and origin of the product. Okay, and good reputation of the product. I told, suppose nobody knows, once GI tag is there, you will very crazy to know it. Okay, that product is GI tag. Okay, that's why it can have a good reputation. Preventing the product from the generic product. That means suppose Kandhamal Haladi. Kandhamal Haladi is a generic product of their Kandhamal district. That's why it's a generic product. You can prevent the product from the generic form. You can have a generic product. Protecting the domestic market from the competitor. It is very important because in commercial point of view, if you have a GI tag, then the domestic market will improve from the competition. Domestic market will be improved from the competition because I'm telling suppose Sambalpuri Shari, you can see in the Raulkela also. But you will better to prefer the Sambalpuri Shari at the Sambalpur than the Raulkela because the market competition is increased. Do you understand? Suppose you want to buy a Sambalpuri Shari at Cuttack, Bhubaneswar, Raulkela, but everywhere it is available, no doubt, in the particular GI. But you will give your interest to buy the Sambalpuri Shari better at the Sambalpur than to this. Suppose you are gone to Hyderabad. You definitely prefer, okay, the Hyderabad is famous, I will eat a Hyderabad biryani. You have gone to Banaras, okay, Banarasi sari, I will take. Definitely for this, protection of the domestic market from the competition will increase. That's why it is any product need to be GI protected. It is very important. The GI protection is there, otherwise you cannot do it. Okay. See the advantages of the GI protection. Already I told that what are the advantages. Lot of examples I have given. Okay, the Kani shawls mainly it is in Kashmir. Okay, Kulu shawls means same shawl is there. The shawls is often from the Kulu. Kulu is very close to Manali. One of the Kulu is a district. Kulu is a district in Himachal Pradesh. Okay, that's what I'm telling. Kulu is a district in Himachal Pradesh, that Kulu Sawa. Banarasi Shari, I'm telling group poetry. Okay, Chandri fabrics, it is there, Chandri fabrics. And embroidery, some kuch embroidery is there. Okay, and Muga silk, all these things are different. And mostly it is different with respect to place. It is GI tag. What is the benefit? Let us discuss the advantages of this GI tag. Having the legal protection and preventing from the unauthorized use. We cannot, any person can unauthorizedly can use the, if you have the GI tag. It's a kind of intellectual property, I'm telling. It is kind of fifth intellectual property. We'll discuss the other intellectual property later, but it is a why this is the intellectual property, how it will be protected. Benefit of farmer and local producer. What happened? Benefit of farmer, people are there in certain area, they are doing their own farming and having local producer. They can do it. Boost the rural development. And recently, all of you know, if you are all over from Odisha, you know recently one GI tag has obtained, that is Katta Brinjal. But is told as Katta Baigan. Okay, the Katta Baigan, it is a very rural place, like a Nayagarh district. If you will, anyone of have gone to Nayagarh district is in the same area. If you will come to Kantilo, okay, Kantilo Banki, that area, you will get a lot of brinjals are there. That brinjal, that is the Katta brinjals are there, Katta Baigan, and that is not hardly available anywhere. But very small place, it is famous because of the GI tag. That's what I'm telling. It produces gifts and definitely to protect the unfair practice. The GI tax is there. Complete information to the consumer. It gives the detail and original, main thing, the original things of the material. Okay. What is the geographical indication and when it came? It is very recently came. I told the patent came in 1970. Okay, 1970 patent came. But geographic indication is when India become a member of the World Trade Organization, WTO. India become the member of the trade organization. then it gives its own GI for the goods. Okay, it is the registration is done in 1999 and has come to force with effective from 15 September 2003. That means last 20 years we have the idea, last 22 years, that we got some idea regarding the GI tax. Okay, geographical indication of the goods, that is registration and protection act 1999. What about the that patent act came in 1970. Okay, this act came in 1999, but actually it is came to the picture, the GI tag. People understood the GI tag from the 2002, but initially it was not there. In the 5-10 years, the GI tags have better value in the society. Okay, I will take you some more example out of it because it's very interesting. You can see GI tag. Many of you may not know the GI tag of the Odisha. Okay, I'm taking you what are the GI tag, the Odisha. Many GI tags there, and recently 7 GI tags obtained by the people at the different place of Odisha. Okay, this is Patachitra. It is from Puri. It is also GI tag. Okay, this is a kind of fabrics chadar. It is at the Nagar district, and it is sorry, it is the Ragada district, and Sambalpuri Shari. Sometimes you can tell Rashabari. This is also GI tag recently in the Kendrapada, and fire ant, fire ant. What is fire ant? It is available mostly. You can find at the jungle forest area, mostly at the Mayurbhanj. People used to take the fire ant as a food. Okay, fire ant in Odia meaning is what I can tell. Nali pimpudi, nali pimpudi. This is chutney. It's a people in the rural area. They used to very familiar. They are this chutney is very familiar at the family. This is available in the Simil Park. Any one of you, suppose it is in the Mayurbhanj, definitely they are acquainted with this fire and chutney. Fire and chutney, or I can tell Nali Pimpudi chutney. Okay, this is available in the Mayurbhanj area. Okay, this you see black jeera rice, black rice, black rice. It's famous. Recently, it is GI tag has obtained in Koraput district. That means we are also very smart in Odisha people. They are taking a lot of things in the GI tag. Okay, that's why I'm saying that this is all about the intellectual property. Okay, see, Rasgola. It's got a lot of. I think all of you are familiar with the controversy came from the West Bengal and Odisha, and both the state got the GI tag because Rasgulla and Rasgulla both become the GI tag, the West Bengal and the Odisha. Okay, that's why we can do it. And what about this? That I already told that Hyderabad biryani is already got the GI tag for this. Basmati rice, it is also got the GI tag in the intellectual properties. Okay. Then after the GI tag, then sixth one in the intellectual property is a trade dress. What is the trade dress? It is kind of intellectual property. What is this? Trade dress is a legal term of art that generally refer to characteristics of individual appearance of the product and its packaging. What is the trade dress? Many packaging is there that you can identify by seeing the package only. You can identify, okay, this is that. Their style of packaging they cannot change in the several years and years. They have not changed it. Some symbol in their package, they will not change it. For example, all of you have seen the Parle-G biscuit packet. In the Parle-G biscuit packet, there is a small kid figure is there. I'll show you that package. But what is the trade dress? Remember, that means style of packaging. If you are making a style of packaging, you can also make it intellectual property right, by which other people cannot do the same kind of packing what you are doing it. Packaging, that's my, I have to say that besides the patent, besides the trademark, trade secret, that GI tax, copyright, also you have a trade dress or package there, that you can do a different type of package, okay, by which it will be different from the others. See, what are the packaging? You will see all this packaging. The photo I have taken from the image, you can see that there is a small baby in the Parle-G. Do you think that still the baby is there? This baby now has become a old woman, but still the last 50 years this packing is like this only. They are not changing the, even same thing in the packing. When you remember when you are when you are a school time, you have seen the Parle-G packet like this. Now also the Parle-G package like this is available in the market. Okay, Monaco, you see the same packet is there. This is also intellectual property right. Tiger biscuit. The style of writing is same way the Oreo. That this style of packaging is there before several years, and now also they are make the same 50-50, 20-20 is there. That means whatever the packing is there, style of packing previously and now it is completely same. That means they are maintaining the same thing. Then you cannot do the packing like them. That's the way this is known as the trade dress. Okay, trade dress. And the last intellectual property is industrial designing. Okay, what are the intellectual property I told? Again I repeat, it is intellectual property is copyright and other things are there. Just one minute. Okay. The industrial designing, besides the industrial designing, that is a one is copyright, one is we can tell patent, trademark, trade secret, and even trade dress, GI tags. Besides this, the last and seventh I can tell is industrial designing. Seventh or eighth types is known as industrial designing. Okay, we have 15 minutes more. We will discuss industrial designing. After that, we will give 5-10 minutes to discuss it, because I like to have the good discussion. Okay, then it will be easy to understand the complete intellectual property pack. Okay, complete pack of the intellectual property. Okay, what is this? The industrial designing is an intellectual property right that protect the particular shape, particular color pattern, particular line, and in the 2D and the 3D designing object. Industrial design. I'll show you some of the industrial designing. Suppose bottle opener, in the thumbs up bottle opener or any type of cold drinks bottle opener, that style is there. You remember that style? That style is used in the 50 years back. Same style also going on, because it made an intellectual property in the industrial design. I'm telling you, when the World Trade Organization, when India become the member of the World Trade Organization, before that, people is doing at the US even. They are making the particular industrial designing, because the intellectual property right is not there. Now we Indians, we have it's five that city that contain intellectual property right. Unfortunately, in Odisha, we don't have an intellectual property right office, but we can, for the all intellectual property, we can go for the Kolkata, and for the Calcutta office, you can do it. But for the GI tag, you have to go to the Chennai office. Okay, in that. Okay, now you understood that what is industrial designing. Detail I can show you. What is industrial designing? You see, industrial design the protection of ornamental. That why designing is required, I am telling. Designing increases the aesthetic look of the product. Aesthetic look, the marketability of the product. Okay, it gives the marketability, which gives the aesthetic look or marketability of the product. For example, in the mobile shape, suppose if you will see the shape of the mobile, okay, then how it will be the aesthetic look. I am telling you that design to protect the ornamental or aesthetic look of the product. Okay, that is why GI is important for that. Okay. Then you can tell one thing. You see, that the complete before going to acknowledgement, I am telling you this idea. You see, mostly the what are the industrial designing, the conclusion that any designing you can do. Suppose in a simple gems clip, you see the gems clip, very simple way of gems clip. Okay, this is a car key. You see the car key, they have made it, and if you place it, the key will be open. Something like that. The key will be open. I can show you that I have key. That is also industrial designing. The certain designing they made, it is different. That means if you will place it, the key will open. That means this is also the kind of industrial designing. Okay, I don't make the conclusion, but as a till I can tell intellectual property is a completely is a right intellectual property for this. And before when you are giving your own idea, own innovation, own research, you want to protect it by the land of law, definitely you should go for a property right. Okay, then what you have discussed, we have discussed regarding the innovation, and we discussed regarding different types of the intellectual property. And there are 6 7 intellectual properties there: the copyright and the patent and GI tag, trade secret, trademark, and industrial designing. And even lastly also we have seen the different packings, that is also designing, that is intellectual property. There you cannot do the same packing, same way of writing. Suppose something you are writing, that is the same way of writing also you cannot do it. That's why we have tried to touch different aspect of the intellectual property right. Then from this we can have some idea regarding intellectual property right. Again I am telling, for individual intellectual property, out of the 6 7 type of intellectual property, if individual you can discuss that how it is formed, how it is filed, where it is filed, what is the process of getting particular intellectual property like patent, suppose for a GI tag, for a trademark, all these things, it needs individual discussion. But as a whole, if you take that intellectual property IPR, then basically if you are from the HI, the higher education institute, you can get it from your, it can tell outcome your research, outcome of innovation, or outcome of your idea. Okay, this is all about of different intellectual property. Knowing like kept 5 10 minutes for the discussion, but before conclusion, then I can show that I must acknowledge the people. The Professor DC Rai of BPUT, he was my colleague, old colleague at VSSOD, and he chosen me as a resource person to deliberation in the some idea regarding intellectual property right. I told that intellectual property right is a understanding is important, because you cannot show the property is not a movable or immovable property. That's why thanks to DC Rai. Professor Amirat is my also colleague. Now is the Honorable Vice Chancellor of the BPUT, and Professor Sahu is the Vice Chancellor of my institute, VSSOT, and all the faculty members of the different institutions for their patience hearing. And now I am ready to take few questions, because I kept some time for the discussion, because I believe the interaction. Okay, thank you.
Any question from participants?
Or you can do message. If you do message also, I can read. And okay, some message came. I know. I can read few messages. Okay, from the figure you have written. Okay, I think Dr. Roth is written regarding the trademark. Okay, if you want the trademark in detail, I can tell. either it is a symbol or it is a particular logo. It is kind of 3D or 2D view. That is why the trademark is there. You can do it. Easily you can distinguish the trademark is kind of, but it is completely different from the trade secret. What is there? Completely different from the trade secret. Okay. Any other question? Okay, it's a question that, sir, how long the intellectual property right can lead? It's a good question. That depending on the individual property, intellectual property right. For the patent is for 20 years. Suppose you have a innovation, you did a patent, and patent is granted. Okay, then you are the owner of that particular intellectual property or patent for 20 years. After 20 years, it will go to the public. You cannot claim your innovation after 20 years because property right will be for 20 years. Okay, another thing I'm telling you, when any intellectual property will be registered in the intellectual property rights office, what happen? They will take money for the patentability. Don't think it's like mortgage. They are keeping your knowledge with them, and for the maintainability of the knowledge, some annual fees there. Some annual fees there. That is why it is showing the intellectual property for 20 years, and the GI tag for the whole time. GI tag is there, and and trademark, trade secret, all these there, and the lifetime is there. Okay. Again, what are the problems in the IPR? Someone, Sanjukta Mishra, madam is asking that, what is the problems in IPR? Yes, there are a lot of problems in the IPR because what happened, that who is filing first? Many times it happen, you have your own idea, suppose I came to know you are doing some research on that particular area, I can file fast. Then your idea is gone. That is why it is, people is to obtain, it is a good idea that if you want to do patent of any of your discoveries, don't publish it. Always I used to do, when I used to have the patent, I protect the data, to protect without publication. If you have the publication, then it will go to public, people will read your idea, then again it is not patentability. It is the minimum criteria. I have not time, that's why I have not detail regarding the patent. Detail regarding patent is a very big thing, but still I can tell you cannot publish it. If you publish, once it will go to the public, then your idea, your innovation, it cannot be granted because it takes long time. Minimum 18 months is required. If you will apply today, minimum 18 months is required for the granting of the your idea as a, or granted of the patent. Filing patent to granting patent is 18 months. It's a long time. Because of this long time, that people will claim that, okay, it is not your idea. This is also my idea, I can tell. This is the problem in IPR. That's why you should be very smart enough to handle your intellectual property. Thank you. Any other question? You can write also. I am taking the question from the message.
Sir, I think no more questions from the participants.
Yes.
But also I can say Sir is very cooperative. Within very short span of time, he has accepted my request. Thank you very much, sir, for this noble cause, because we are, in BPUT, we are it's doing for this entire Odisha, all of the colleges across Odisha, they are participating for the research scholars. And I know Sir is a pioneer in research. Many of you might not know Sir's profile. He is one of the pioneer in research, I can say, in India. So many awards, patents are in his name. And I'm very much grateful that Sir has kept my request, and today he was there. And definitely, I think you people also enjoyed today's session. And I hope at least something you have learned from Sir. And also Sir is available at what time, what I have seen, Sir has just told a few times before that he was a colleague. We are colleague in VSSUT. Still, we are colleague also. And one beauty is that whenever I would used to call Sir, Sir is picking the call and responding, whatever be the matter. It may be personal or professional or whatever. Sir will respond, and he is very friendly. So thank you very much, sir, to be here and
Thank
on
you.
this
Thank you.
session.
Thank you
And
providing the platform to deliberation of this lecture.
thank you. Thank you, sir. So, sir, you may disconnect now, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, all the participants. We can discuss. I have my number in the website. Any individual question also you can by even by phone.
They can mail you or they can message you also.
Okay. Thank you
Sir,
very much.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Thank
if it is
you.
possible,
Thank you so
please,
much.
sir, share that slides, today's slides, so that I can share it.
Okay, no problem. No problem. No problem. Because it is very big file. Anyway, I will make it PDF. It will be easily.
PDF and
yes,
give it.
I can send it to you. No problem. Sure.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir,
Okay.
really, namaste.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
So I would like to request all the participants that today we have successfully completed the third day of this FDP. Tomorrow is the day 4, and as per our session for the day 4, it is intact. I think there is no changes in the day 4. Only in day 5th, little bit changes are there. There is a class of Panda sir, which was there on day 5th, but he was taken in this date, and the class which was today, that will be taken by Dr. Bikramjit Das on 25th. Okay, that is the only little bit changes. So what I observed, let me give you a genuine feedback during this FDP. I observed that in the initial stage, we have 120 around faculty, and day by day it is decreasing. And now I can see it is around 90, 80 to 90 in between that. So what I want to say that, see, knowledge having no barrier, everyone is welcome to listen this session. Anyone is there, they may be registered or not registered, that does not matter. But the thing is that I have given you the clarification when someone is eligible to get the FDP certificate. So therefore I'm again repeating, so the criteria for this FDP, that is you have at least 90% of your attendances in the FDP. We have 15 sessions of this FDP and at least 14 sessions, and you might be knowing your all the attendances are virtually recorded with your time slots. And if it is possible, around tomorrow I will share whatever your time slots, how many time or how much minutes, how much hours you are available here, and based on that we are going to take account that, and also the quiz which will be conducted on the day 5th at the afternoon session for at least 40 minutes. Around 30 questions will come. Okay, whatever discussion has been done in this 5 days, based on that a quiz will be there, and you have to qualify 50% mark at least you have to get from that quiz to be eligible for this certificate, and both the conditions should be satisfied. Your attendance should be 90% above, and your mark should be 50% above. Then only you will get the FDP certificate. And means from now I am saying, because I should not get any request from your side that, sir, please consider. Okay, so it is not like that. You can attend the sessions. I don't have any issue. Many number of people, whoever is interested, they can attend. But for the FDP certificate, that is the criteria that because this is not an state level event, it is a national event. Okay, there are a lot of participants outside the state also participating. Okay, so you hope it is an Association of Indian University, a academic and administrative development center is conducting this program, and BPUT is one of the AADC center in Odisha. Okay, earlier it was some other university. This year they have given it to BPUT. So I hope you are enjoying the session, and thank you all for participating. And now we are signing off. Thank you. And we will meet tomorrow.
Sir, one query. Sir,
Yes.
Initially it is declared that the PDF will be shared in the group, but Sir, PDF
Which
is
which
not.
PDF, sir? Which PDF?
Sir, PDF of this session, what is continuing in the.
Yes, sir, definitely. I'm collecting the same from all the keynote speakers, and from them, once it is collected, I will share it through mail. Okay, to all of you. Okay, and for your benefit also, what we are doing every day's video session. Okay, by converting into session wise, we will upload 14 sessions into our BPUT website also. Okay, you can refer it if somewhere you forget something, you can refer those videos also. Anything else, sir?
No, sir. No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So thank you. So now I can leave. Okay. So now I'm signing off. So hope you have a good day today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.